Well, good evening. Welcome to episode 83 of Wise Advice, and we're going to talk about fitness tonight. That's the topic. I'll give you a second to get chimed in here. We always have a great audience on Facebook in the evening, so thank you for being here as always. It's good to see you guys all. But we'll open the show in a little bit. Give you a second to get in, get checked in. Jeff, first on the scene, as always. Monica, not far behind. Good evening to both of you. Paula, welcome. Good to see you for sure. Let's see who else pops in next. Boom. Come on. Sandra, good evening. How are you? Ruth Ann makes it in. Good deal. This is the regular crowd, so it's like the regular crowd shuffles in, right? A little Billy Joel song. Who'd I miss? I missed someone pop in here. Jana said hi. Good evening to Jana. Adriana, hello. Andrea, good evening. Yeah, Jeff is pretty much consistently the first one in. You know, every once in a while he's the second one, but Jeff's pretty consistent. Your goal, if you want to be someone, your goal is to make sure you get here before Jeff. If you do that, then you are well on your way to success. So, Diane, good evening. How are you? Angie, good evening to you as well. Kathy says hi. Hi, Kathy. Sheila, hello. Good to see you. Look at that, Jana, 2.6 today. That is awesome work. Well done. Well, how's it feel? Pretty good? Diane is cutting up fruits and veggies. I got an email today that it's going to take me a couple while to get into it. I got an email today about fruits and veggies, about a person who was eating an entire watermelon per day and couldn't figure out why they weren't losing weight. So fruits and vegetables are good, but they're still have calories, but they are 0 points. We'll talk about that in a whole future episode. Tonight's episode is going to be about fitness. That's what we're talking about tonight. But anyway, cool, Diane. Jeanette from Hershey, Nebraska. Good to see you as always. Beth is, I am so sorry, Beth. I apologize that you are on vacation and tuned in to FatDag. Pretty cool. Honored, actually. And it proves to me that you know what you're doing, you know what you want, and you're going to get it done. So, very cool. Say hello to Washington. Let's see. Tracy says good evening. Yeah, Jana, it feels amazing, right? 2.6 pounds in a week is crazy focus right there. So good job for sure. Denise, hello. I saw that you committed today to Louisville, so can't wait to see that. We'll get we need to figure out a way to get a group going, a training group for the Ironman folks. Denise is committed to the Ironman out in Louisville in oh shoot, I forget the date. Well, it's next year, 2018. I don't even know what month. Denise, do you know what month it is? We'll have to figure that out. So Marianne says, Sailor's son has been home. Very cool. But I'm so glad you had a great visit. That is important stuff to do as well. Christy says, hey. Hey, Christy, how are you? Araceli, hello. From Chicago. I'm working on my plans to get there this weekend. That's the best I can tell you, is I'm trying to move some things around to clear up the day so that I can spend the day with you. I don't even know. I have to figure out how far away it is. There's a chance might not be. The earliest I may be able to get there is close to 1-ish. So that's kind of what I'm trying to move some stuff around. If I can do it, great. If I can't, then I can't. But that's the deal with that. All right, cool. Wow, Andrea, 9.1 miles today, 21,000 steps. That's muscles. That's awesome. Very cool, Andrea. Very, very good job. Margaret, happy Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesdays are cool. Christine, good evening. Amy, hello. Fruit points were discussed today at the meeting. Yeah, fruit it doesn't have points per se. It has calories. The whole reason we give you fruits for 0 points is to entice you to eat them, to acquire the taste and build the habit to get them into your day. If you continue to overeat on fruit, you're still eating too many calories, which is the number one reason we kind of struggle. So let's see. Denise says, Facebook stalker waiting for the live feed. Get it. So, it's generally, what time is it? It's 11 o'clock. It's a little late. It's around this time by the time my house settles down and my day settles down for the day, and that's what kind of gets me fired up. So I'm glad you have the app to notify you. So October in Louisville, we've committed to that. You think? Got it? Let's see. Yeah, bike. I don't even have a bike anymore, so that's going to be tough. Andrea, Maine. Whereabouts in Maine? I used to live in Maine most of my life. Then lived in Lewis and Auburn for a long time. Lived in Litchfield for a little bit of time. Lived in South Berwick for a long time. So I'm very familiar with Maine, for sure, Andrea. Let's see. So Steve is here. Steve got a new jersey today. I got a Chicago Cubs jersey. That was pretty cool. Tacoma, Washington. Eva, good to see you tonight. Okay, I'm trying to... So... Oh, man. I can't wait to get to Chicago, because now Araceli... An E... With an EY sound at the end. Araceli? Is that it? You're gonna definitely have... Maybe you should... here you go. Do you have the app? If you have the app... the FatDag app, click on the call the show number. You could do it right now, actually. Well, you're doing this. If you have a different phone, do it. Call and tell me how to say it. If it goes right to voicemail, I won't answer. It'll go direct to voicemail, but it comes in and I can play it. So that's how you can teach me how to pronounce your name. Julianne, hi from down the road, not far at all. That's funny. Araceli. I'm going to say this a million times. All right, that's cool. Kristen's here. Hello. Yeah, Amy. Yeah, no points, but definitely calories for sure. Susan's here. Hello. Buffy's here. Hello. Good to see you. Angie's dance. We had dance class tonight, so if you saw it, it's on Connect right now. We went to dance. Wednesday night is generally our dance night, so we went to... Did a little bit of cha-cha and then a little bit of waltz. So waltz is my favorite for sure. So Denise is out for a swim, 8 o'clock on the East Coast. Saco, yeah, I'm very familiar with Exit 5 off the Turnpike up there in Saco for sure. So, very cool. Yep. Let's see. All right, looks like I am ready. So you're going to talk about fitness. What do you want me to hit? I got a couple things we got going on here fitness-wise. That's kind of the topic for the night. Steve, I appreciate that. We'll see if I can. I mean, I definitely can make it. It's just a matter of what time I can make it. That's the thing. So as of right now, the earliest I can probably get there is going to be close to 1 or 2. And I'm trying to move a meeting around in the morning to see if I can get there. If I can, I can. I don't know. It could be your internet connection. Should I reboot? You guys say it's freezing. It's too loud. Turn your volume down. Right? All right. So let me know. Should I reboot or not? That's the question before we go. Thumbs up to reboot? I don't think I want to. Yeah, my feed is fine. Okay, I think we're going to leave it. That's what I think. All right, let's get this thing in the books. What do you think of that? All right, everyone says it's good. Let's see what this says. All right, cool. Good. All right, you guys all say the feed is fine. That's good. Testing 1, 2. Audio sounds good. Test 1, 2. Testing 1, 2, 3. Perfect. All right, you guys ready? Move everything around. I need like 10 more desks, I think. I think my wife would kill me, but I think I need more desk space. So, all right, here we go. We're going to rock and roll. So, ready to go. Episode 83, Wise Advice. We're going to talk about fitness. Need just a little bit more. Have you ever tried to talk for 30 minutes straight? It really makes your mouth dry. I am your host, FatDag, and you're listening to Wise Advice. My weight loss journey failed when I focused on how. It wasn't until I switched my focus to why that I truly transformed myself. Join the show on the web at FatDag.com. Follow along on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at Wise Advice. Send in your comments, your questions, your celebrations. I'll include them as part of the show. But before we dive in, remember, when you're out of points, stop eating points. Hey, I'm honored to be your wingman as we walk through this journey together because I believe in you. Well, hello. Welcome to episode 83 of Wise Advice. And tonight we're going to kind of hit a topic I get a ton of email questions about, and it's all about fitness. You know, I think a lot of us believe that the fitness part of this journey is very important, and it absolutely is. But we've got to figure out a way to work it into the entire journey so that we can continue to work the plan properly, and we can get the results and sustain the results for long term. So out of the gate, Jennifer writes in, says, "Hi, FatDag. I've been enjoying your podcast. I'm a bit behind on them, so I'm not sure if you've covered this yet, but here is my dilemma. I am a lifetime member, and I weigh less than I have in over 25 years. I cannot seem to change my mindset to maintaining, however. I keep wanting to lose more and see a loss every week. I really don't need to lose anymore. How do I get out of that needing to see a negative every week?" Jennifer. Well, Jennifer, let's first up say congratulations on hitting a lifetime. That is an accomplishment that very few people can get to, and you now know what that feels like. You can solidify that into your journey, and you recognize that feeling of stepping on the scale, not wanting to lose weight, and congratulations for that. The fact that you weigh less now than you have in over 25 years has to, by itself, feel amazing. So congratulations on that. I understand exactly what you're talking about when you say you want to continue to see the loss on the scale, and that does take some time to adjust. The good news is there will come a time where you actually physically can't lose any more weight. So therefore, when you get down to 2 or 3 pounds and you hop on the scale and you don't want to see a minus 3 pounds because that means you're gone. So we're not going to have to worry about that. Your body at some point will settle in and will remind you that you can't lose any more weight. You will find that naturally. So let's do that. But let's talk about how you adjust the mindset to that. Now, let's obviously, I was being funny when I talked about that. What I want you to know is I want you to find a place right where you are, where you hop on the scale and you truly don't want to see a number that's lower. You look good, you feel good, the clothes that you're wearing are the size you want to wear, you've established what that looks like, what that feels like, you really understand it. That is your goal feeling, that is whatever weight that is your goal weight. You absolutely celebrate that. A couple ways to lock that in is to buy clothing that fits good on you. That if you have a shirt that you wore 25 pounds ago and you're continuing to wear that shirt, you easily could gain 25 pounds and stay in the same shirt. I highly recommend when you get to your goal weight and your goal feeling, that is the time to purge the closet. That is the time to donate, sell, whatever you need to do, but anything that's even a half a size too big has got to go. And so in my scenario, I'm in medium t-shirts, I'm in 31-inch jeans. It's impossible in this clothing for me to gain 15 pounds. So I can't gain 15 pounds in my medium t-shirt. My 31-inch jeans will not fit 15 pounds from now. So I celebrate that every single time, and I'm not going to, at that point, go buy larger clothing. I've now set new goals. I understand what my current goals were, and so my new goals now are all related to what I can do and fitness. If you were following along over the weekend, you saw that I had a great workout over the weekend. One of the coolest things, and I actually kind of didn't really realize it until today, but while I was working out, my wife and daughter were so gracious enough to go out and torture me during the workout, and my trainer Adam at that point was just working the plan, and I ended up pushing. I put it on Instagram. I ended up pushing this. They call it the Prowler. I ended up pushing it across the parking lot, and I did that at the very end of my workout. So I worked out for about an hour with him, and then we went out for dessert. He called it. And I pushed this sled across the parking lot, and man, it was very difficult to do. There came a point, I'll be honest with you, there came a point where he's like, okay, next rep, and I had to take a break. I'm like, no, I need to catch my breath. I was having a hard time catching my breath, and my wife looked at me and said, a year ago you never made it to this point. And so that was a aha moment. A year ago, you're right, I would not have driven to Bloomington for a workout a year ago. So I find things along my way that do that. You now need to, you're at the point now where you've heard me talk for a long time. I want you to set attendance goals. I want you to wake up every morning and just do something. I want you to build healthy habits. I want you to get to the point where whatever you've done now becomes part of your routine. I've told you all along to kind of ignore the performance side of things. Once you've reached goal, when you reach lifetime, now is when you start experimenting with some performance goals. You start bringing them in. You start setting, if you got 10,000 steps today, then tomorrow you go for a little more. If you can run a mile in 10 minutes, then maybe you look at a 9-minute mile. And that's where you start now. And so those numbers you start tracking, you track them the same way you track your scale numbers, and then it gives you a whole new thing to keep an eye on. So it's absolutely how you do it. Is I want you to work on maybe adding in some performance goals, continue with whatever attendance goals you had to build the healthy routines, but you absolutely now can make that shift into some performance goals. So great job there. Find the things that you need to find that will continue to keep you motivated. Write them down every time you experience them, and you really can get there. So absolutely, again, congratulations on making goal. Stick around for the rest of the episode. You're going to hear a lot of good things all about fitness, and we can work it in. Rachel writes in for sure, says, hello, I am emailing you with a question regarding an idea you've touched on many times, strength training and weights. Last week, as I think I mentioned to you in one of my emails, my night weight was higher than my normal night weight. It totally freaked me out. I actually got so anxious about it that I immediately went to the gym and I ran 6.2 miles. Now I know that wasn't the best response because I was focusing so much on that number, but yes, that is what I did. Anyway, ever since I hit goal over a year ago, I said that my body isn't going to lose anymore. I need to focus on toning what I've got. I would do a weight training workout program, then I would stop after a few weeks. I'd start again, and then I'd stop. However, this time, I really want to focus on strength training because I think I need different non-scale victories, and I think I need to change up my exercise routine. So I started, again, incorporating weights into my exercise routine. Now I do cardio and weights pretty much every day, and man, my legs hurt. So, that being said, I'm genuinely afraid to step on the scale on Wednesday. I ask myself, will my weight jump up due to the strength training? If it does jump up, will it jump up from my maintenance range, or will it jump up from a number that was a few pounds higher than that range? Well, with my time of month, yes, again, coming up next week, that is usually when my weight is up a little bit higher anyways. So I have so many questions. What would you recommend? I'm afraid to weigh in as it could be a huge, huge blow, even though I'm keeping all of these factors in mind. Thanks, as always, Rachel. Rachel, for sure, let's go all the way back to the beginning here. Your night weight was higher than your normal night weight. We have to understand, if we're going to weigh ourselves daily, we have to understand all of the things that play into that weight. And it's certainly your water intake for the day, the actual quality, the quantity of the food you eat that day. You can eat very much on plan, but your food can be a little more dense, and that's going to affect a night weight. So you really have to, if you're going to weigh daily, if you're going to check, in your case, multiple times a day, then you need to 100% understand the data and just start focusing on the trend line and not worry about that aspect of it. Now, certainly going out and running 6.2 miles to combat that is not the healthy response, exactly like you said. I'm super proud of you for the fact that you could just at a whim get up and go run 6.2 miles. That alone is a huge victory, so congratulations on that. But if your response to your to a weight number is to go out and run a 6.2 mile range, what's going to happen the day when your weight is up and you don't have the ability to run? So I want you to focus on the tracker. I want you to focus on eating the right food. That is what's going to carry you in. So continue now that you've added your strength training. Strength training is extremely important part of this journey. It's very important that we do that. It's important that we understand when to do it, how to do it. You need to build consistency into your strength training plan. That is absolutely the attendance side of the goals that we always talk about. Start slowly. I certainly recommend tapping in someone who understands the strength training so that you get there, your time at the gym is spent properly, so that you are, maximizing your time, using the equipment properly. That all has to be done. So good job on there. The fact that your legs are hurting, I'm glad to see that. That means you're doing something, you're getting something done. But I really want you, Rachel, I really want you to get out of the numbers game. Right now is you're continued to focus on the scale number. I've always said that goal is a feeling. The fact that you will feel good about yourself, the fact that you are at Lifetime for more than a year, that is what you need to celebrate. Look how far you've come on this journey. Now, if you hop on the scale and you're wearing the exact same clothes that we just talked about, that are that fit good, that fit you properly, and you hop on the scale and you don't want to lose any weight, the number at that point is irrelevant. So celebrate the fact that at a moment's notice you can go run 6.2 miles. You can get it done. Now, when we talk about the range, obviously Weight Watchers has you set the number. We're in the numbers game in that mindset. I understand that. What I want you to do is I want you to find a range that you're comfortable with. If it's in the healthy BMI range, which I think everyone has the ability at one point to get there, you have the ability to get in that range. That's where Weight Watchers says you become free. If you start strength training and you're adding muscle and that puts you out of the range, knowing that you honestly tracked, you are eating and following the plan perfectly, then at that point, if you go see a doctor with 5, 10, 15% body fat and say, you know what, I don't have a healthy BMI, but I got a 5% body fat, your doctor will get you a note and you can set the range that you need based on how you look and feel at that point. You're going to be just fine, but I just caution you to get out of the numbers game. Can focus on how you feel, focus on your accomplishments, and continue to work that and keep going. So Rachel, thank you for the email. Out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, Jan writes in, says, so I got a new Fitbit a couple of days ago before I went to camp to be a counselor. The second day in the early evening, I was heading to the rec center when it began to attack my wrist. I was desperately trying to get this defective device off of my arm before it electrocuted me, when I noticed it was actually congratulating me for reaching 10,000 steps. Who knew? Now my little buzz is as important to me as those little blue dots. I don't always get rewarded by the scale. I have no control over that, right? But I can strive for 10,000 steps and blue dots, and I get them every day. My week at camp rewarded me with a 2.4 pound loss, even though I had no control over what was served. I had complete control over what I ate. I am working the program and I'm down 7 pounds. Thanks for your podcast. It's right up there with my blue dots and my Fitbit buzz as my personal helpers along this journey. Jan. Well, Jan, that's funny. When I first read your email when it came in, my first reaction was, oh my God, this thing is I don't want you to get hurt by your fitness device. So the fact that you recognize that it started buzzing, and it was buzzing because you hit 10,000 steps is a pretty cool accomplishment. My wife wears had for a long time had a Fitbit. Now she's switched to Apple Watch, but she had a Fitbit for a long time, and it didn't matter where we were when we were out walking around, whether it be at the grocery store or at the mall or just in the neighborhood. No matter what we're talking about as we're walking, as soon as that thing buzzed, that was the topic of conversation instantly. It was, oh, there it is, and so I understand the joy of hitting that at 10,000 steps. So the buzz is absolutely important. You can set, your attendance goals for 10,000 steps. That you have complete control over. It's exactly what you said. You have no control over the scale. You can work the plan perfectly. The one part of this plan you cannot control is what number will show up on the scale the next morning or at night, depending on when you weigh in. You can, however, absolutely control what you eat. You can control how many blue dots you get. You can control how much exercise you get. You can control whether or not you hit your step goal. Now, if 10,000 steps is crazy, if for some of us that's a lot of steps. So set your goal to 2,000. There's no reason why you go in the app, set your step for 2,000, hit 2,000, hit that consistently. Every single day, hit your 10,000, your 2,000, whatever number works for you, and go get it done. Jen, the fact that you're down 7 pounds quickly is absolutely a testament to your hard work. It's a testament to your focus. It's a testament to the fact that your blue dots, your Fitbit Buzz, and the other tools that you've employed along this journey are absolutely working for you. Set a great fit point goal every week. Continue to use the app doing that. But I'm so glad to see you right in. So Jan, congratulations. Keep up the amazing work. Lisa writes in and says, I'm happy to report that I'm at goal. I'm not at lifetime yet. I actually have 39 pounds to go. And while I'm on my way, I have a focus and an intensity that holds no bounds. I've got this. I started with you back in January of 2016. I remember when you busted on the scene. I felt a kinship immediately since in the past I had worked with a Navy fitness instructor, and he told me countless stories of guys coming into his gym on the verge of being kicked out and thinking that the answer was somewhere in the gym. I also believed the answer was there, even though my trainer's first question every week was, well, how was your nutrition? I did okay with him for a while, but complacency and life would get in the way. There was always something missing. Starting at the very beginning, I had achieved lifetime in 2006 and a hysterectomy, and a friend telling me that I would put all the weight back on drove me into a tailspin. I believed her, and I did. Fast forward 10 years, the Weight Watcher commercial, if not now, when, changed my life, and I started attending meetings. My why was very apparent. I wanted to do well with the upcoming knee replacement surgery. I lost 25 pounds in 6 months, and my new knee is awesome. But I lost my why. I struggled with losing for almost a year. I watched you and other friends on Connect make lifetime, and I felt like a failure. But I continued to show up. My leader was urging me to find my why. Everything that I came up with was hollow. I want to feel better. I want to look better. I want cute clothes, blah, 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 blah. I was about ready to give up completely, but I heard that you had a podcast. I listened. I heard. You asked a listener, why did she walk in the door in the first place? I came very close to goal countless times. It wasn't my knee. I dug. My knee was a symptom of a bigger issue. I was afraid of winning. I was afraid of happiness. I didn't deserve any of it. I realized I'm not vain. Feeling and looking better isn't vain. It was always missing from my life, and it was easier to put a negative label on it, box it up, and put it on a shelf. The harder part was to open that box up and peer inside. I want those things. I deserve those things. I'm getting those things. So today, I celebrate that I'm at goal, and I'm in 39 pounds, maybe more. I will celebrate my lifetime, and I cannot wait to tell you. So as a side note, I would love to help you with your quest to help servicemen and women. Any thought on how to take Operation FatDag nationwide? Well, let's go all the way back here. This is a crazy, awesome email, Lisa. Thank you for writing in. the way you open this email got my attention right out of the gate. The fact that you say you're happy to report that you're at goal and you have 39 pounds to go. That is more true than you ever know. Goal is a feeling. The fact that you can feel what it's like, it's a mindset. If you know if you're committed, you're that much, and you're willing to declare goal, even though the scale does not know, then you are well on your way to doing well. Making goal is a mindset. Now, reaching your goal is that feeling, and you absolutely are on your path there. So great job with that for sure. Now, the answer to our weight loss journey is almost never in the gym. I did the same thing as you. For 2 months when I started my journey, before I actually committed back to the meetings for Weight Watchers, is for those 2 months, I was at the gym every single morning at 5 a.m. For 2 months, I went to the gym every single morning just about at 5 a.m., and I didn't lose a single pound. I would leave the gym and I would head to McDonald's for breakfast because I felt like I had done something in the gym, and so I would continue to eat poorly, even though that I thought I had earned it in the gym. So I had those same issues, and it's absolutely not in the gym. What we know is that you have to figure out what you're eating. The fact that your trainer was asking you, how is your nutrition? That is a huge clue in our journey that piece is more important than anything else. It's the same issue I had. I had my trainer ask the same thing, what are you eating? And when I answered Taco Bell, he kind of looked at me and rolled his eyes, and then gladly took my money to continue paying. But I burnt out because I wasn't getting the results that he was promising because I wasn't putting in the work that he was telling me to put in. So congrats to you for sure. Now let's talk about this vanity piece. Vanity is absolutely something you need to be proud of. The fact that you want to look good, the fact that you want to feel good, that's not vanity, that's success. The only people who believe that vanity is a negative word are people who are jealous of what you look like. Those people who are fit, those people who look their best, those people who do not want to lose a single pound, they are happy to celebrate your vanity with you. They are happy to have you join us at Lifetime. That is the goal. The goal is that we're every single one of us, we have the ability to get there. There's no question in my mind. If you're listening, you have the ability to get to goal. You have the ability for the scale to tell you that you're at goal, and you have the ability to go, I don't want to lose any more weight. That is the accomplishment. That is the goal that we're after. You can call it vanity if you want. The only people who call it vanity in the negative stereotype are those who are struggling to get there. So box it up, do what you got to do, but I say you celebrate it. I say you look good, you feel good. It's a feeling like no other, and when you get there, you will absolutely recognize it and be rewarded. Now, as far as Operation FatDag, sure, that's an amazing goal. I would love, I have 3 or 4 speaking engagements still coming up with Operation FatDag, where I'm talking to the Army and some airmen here in the state that are ready to take on this fitness goal and their healthy eating goal for the rest of their life. So, sure, it starts small. All we can do is let everyone know that, the fact that they are in the middle of a struggle with their weight, they do not have to do that. They have the ability to break out of it. Continue to model good behavior. Continue to model what it's like to be at goal mentally, and then prove it with the scale, and let them see your happiness, and they will want it to catch on. So, David writes in and says, what tricks or tips do you have to fight the increased hunger from cardio and lifting? I'm finding I want to eat more. And David is online only. So first, David, let's talk about this. Food is fuel. You've heard that said. It's kind of a catchphrase. If you go on the internet, it doesn't take long to find someone who's going to tell you that. Food is fuel for your body. But the reason we have to take a little bit further, we have to kind of actually understand what that means. And you want to fuel your body properly. As you do increase your cardio, you increase your lifting, your body's going to need more fuel to keep it going. What a lot of us are doing, a mistake I made early on that I'll share with you in hopes that you don't make the same mistake, is I wasn't getting enough protein in my diet. Generally, you want to have, I want you to go do the research. I'm not going to give you the guidelines for it, but I want you to go do the research on how much protein intake should you have. For me, I'm getting between 60 and 80 grams of protein a day. I track that separately because I'm curious of where that number is. But the protein is the fuel for your body. So you want to get more protein in your diet. That is absolutely number one. But number two is I want you to look at your tracker. We've said all along I want you to track everything you eat. There's a reason for that. Even if you know the point value, and if you eat the same thing every day, I still want you to track it. I want you to track every single bite, because here's a great example. I've asked you to get more protein, and you're now hungry because you've been working out more. And in my scenario, there were days I could look back in my tracker, and I could find a 2-point candy, or a Hershey's Kiss, or something like that was only 2 points. That same 2 points could have been a chicken breast. A 6-ounce chicken breast is roughly 2 points, depending on the size. And I had my dinner tonight was actually a 2-point chicken breast. So if you looked at your tracker, and you get to the end of the night and you say, "Man, I'm hungry," what I want you to do is I want you to find something in your tracker that was 4 points that you can live without, and I want you to substitute something in your tracker that you can live with. That is protein, that is fuel. And when you make those switches, you ditch the potato chips, you ditch the candy bar, you ditch the 1 or 2 peanut M&Ms that you're having that you have to have every single day, and that is now substituted with something that's protein, that's a lean meat, a lean chicken breast, it's some fish, whatever it is. It actually gives you way more food because you're putting the right fuel in your body. If you only get a certain amount of points per day, I want you to spend them wisely. And by spending them wisely, it's the 1 or 2 and 3 point things that are having no value to this. As you increase your cardio and your weightlifting, you're going to have to do that. You can continue to work out and work out intently with the points that are given in a weight sustainment mode through the plan if you're putting the right food in the tracker. So go to Google, check out what your protein intake should be, hit those numbers, and you'll see a complete difference in your journey. So David, thank you for your email. Now to end it up, Debbie writes in and says, "Well, I'm not able to do any focused exercise because of a knee problem. Do I track steps that I take in my everyday activity, walking to and from the parking lot to the office, the grocery store, etc.? I'm actually down 5% since the end of April, so thanks for your dedication to Weight Watchers, Debbie." Well, Debbie, so the good news is about this entire episode is, as I open the show, is fitness is very important, but fitness does not help you lose weight. Working out, all of that, you can have success by working out. You can get to a point where you can work out and you can overcome a bad diet by working out for a short period of time. As you heard Rachel say in the beginning of the show, she woke up, ran 6.2 miles because her number was higher. So sure, you can do that temporarily. If she continues to overeat and the next night, that number shows up again higher again, you can't now go run 6.2 miles again. You need a recovery day at that point. So the fitness part of this journey, although very important for our mindset, is not as important for the actual weight loss. The weight loss part of this process happens by tracking everything you eat and happens by looking at the blue dots and staying on the plan 100%. I saw a post, today we were talking about plateaus. I saw someone, talking about being on a plateau and that they're not tracking. Well, then, if you're not tracking, how do you know that you're truly on a plateau? Because you don't know what your food intake is. So the fact that you can't do any focused exercise because of a knee problem is not going to limit your ability to lose weight. Now, you absolutely should be tracking your steps. Look at your fitness tracker. If you have the Fitbit or the, of course, I'm partial to the Nokia step trackers, but Garmin makes one, Apple Watch, all those things track your steps. There's all kinds of brands out there. It doesn't matter which brand you own. Find the one that you're partial to. But what I want you to do is track the numbers over a 30-day period. If you're averaging 4,000 steps a day, if you're averaging 2,000 steps a day, whatever your average is over a 30-day period, set a goal to do 10% more than that. So if you're averaging 2,000 steps a day, well then 2,200 is a new goal for you. If you're averaging 10,000 steps a day, well then 11,000 is a good goal for you. And then continue to adjust your goal based on your previous week's activity or your previous month's activity. Simple walking from here to there, some things that most of us are able to do, you certainly can have the ability to get that done. If not, swimming is a good exercise. There's all kinds of things you can do that don't necessarily aren't called exercise that you can do to get it done. So you don't need exercise to lose weight. You need it for your mind. You need it for your journey. But you have the ability to get to do this. So Debbie, thank you for your email. And let's talk about your 5%. 5% is an amazing accomplishment. Congratulations on that. The coolest thing about 5% is that we gave you a plan. We said, hey, here's the tracker. We want you to track everything you eat. We want you to log all your food. We want you to weigh in weekly. The fact that you were able to do that and hit your 5%, 5% to you proves that the tools that we've given you, you understand how they work, you are using them, and you can hit the goal. If you've reached 5%, then continuing to do everything you did will get you to 10%. And then if you can hit 10%, you can hit goal. So congratulations on potentially making goal, because you know how to do it now. And not only do you know how, you know why, and you know that you can. So congratulations on your 5%. You're well on your way to a brand new you, and I want to hear it when you get there. Folks, what is it that you're celebrating? Let's go ahead and share it on the air. Go to fatdag.com, click on Listen Now, send in your celebrations, your comments, your questions. I'll work them in as part of the show. You can also email in at onair@fatdag.com. I really want you to write it in. I want you to be proud of what you're doing. I want to share it with the world so that everybody knows that what we're doing is an amazing accomplishment. We all have the ability to get this done, but that is going to do it for this time. Remember now that losing weight and getting healthy has nothing to do with luck. You have to remain disciplined and focused. Set your sights on your goal and go after it. I wish you good focus. Boom. So that's 31, what did I say, 31? I lost it. 31 minutes. Very, very cool. All right, so let's go all the way back. I see Linda at the bottom. Jeffrey, thank you, sir. You're well done as well. Jeffrey, I know you're the guy, right? This thing rocks. I like this. I don't even know what it's the pop filter, but it's the wind. They call it a wind sock. And so I always was afraid to get the wind thing because I'm like, there's no wind in here. It's actually inside my house. It's not windy at all. But Jeffrey, thank you for doing that. So Denise, thank you. All right, so I'm going to scroll back up. I see Christy at the bottom. I see Denise at the bottom. I'm going to scroll back up into the middle, find out what we missed as the show is going on, answer any of your questions that arose from the show. And let's see, right about, looks like we are here, I think. So Buffy says, getting back to walking after 11 days of working 11 days at 13 hours at Summerfest. 14 to 18,000 steps a day, which is absolutely incredible. So good job. Go Cardinals, for sure. I'm with that. That works for me. Very, very cool. So Christine is asking if anyone's done the Les Mills body pump. Not I don't know, but I may have something in the future for you. Well, I'm working on a partnership right now that to do an online fitness camp. We'll talk about that later. That's the only you guys get to know that piece for now. Landria just took off. She was out on her walk. Good night to you. Let's see. Here we are. Sarah says hi. Good evening to you. Sarah said she had a stressful day, went to snack, but not going to. Yeah, that's how we got fat in the first place, and I'm learning to deal with the stress in a different way. That is a huge accomplishment. When you get control over it and you say, you know what, hey, I understand. Let's see, sorry, get this. When you understand that the stress piece of your life doesn't get solved by food, there isn't a single stress management class that's going to give you the tips for stress management. They're going to say, delegate. They're going to say prioritize your task list. They're going to say, put things in different order. None of them are going to say, and then go order a pizza. So it's just not how it works. So Sarah, you have the ability. Keep it. Good job. So good job resisting it for sure. Catherine's off to bed. Got it. Julianne, I think I'm allergic to fitness. So you're going back to bed. I like it. Yeah, I'm tuning out of the fitness episode. Totally get it. Marianne's dozing. Got it. I'll speak louder. Jana had a back injury keeping you from exercise. You was advised to do stretches. I did a stretch and found this great couple called HasFit. So very cool. The stretching, that's one of the things I probably need a little more of. Is I get my plenty of exercise, but I feel sometimes I really could use a good stretch. So, yeah, Jeff, that's exactly it. 3 to 4 times a week for half an hour. That's all you need to do. None of it. We don't need to go out and run these marathons. That's a great celebration of your accomplishment. It's a great celebration of what your body can do. But simple walking is all it takes to sustain this journey. Denise out of here. So the other Denise is in. So very cool. Yeah, Linda says walking is one of the best ways to get exercise. Completely agree. And yeah, Diane started eating more protein and you started losing weight again. That's how it works because your body uses that protein properly. Very good job. Christy, loved it. Thank you. Denise, thank you. Wendy, thank you. You're welcome. Christy says, I did not get all my steps in today. I normally hit 10,000 today, but it was so hot and you worked so hard you didn't feel like doing it. You put your headphones on, listen tonight, and you got it done. Very cool. I don't do well with steps. I'll check again. Let me see. I'm at 5,800 for the day. So here we are, 20 minutes. So 5,800 is my day today. I've been forcing myself during work to get up and walk around a little more, though, just to get the number up a little more. But the days that I work out, I get them, but the days that I don't work out, I don't get them. So very cool. Lisa says she loves body pump. I'll have to Google it, figure out what it is. Denise is addicted to a new exercise app, Aptive. It's fabulous. Recommend it. It's like having your own personal trainer. Aptive. I'm going to write it down. I'll check it out. Aptiv. So shout out to Aptive. Very cool. Linda, you're late. No, but that's okay. We can start over. I can do the whole... No, I can't start over. But you can always catch it back on here or YouTube for sure. Or Linda, if you have a specific question, we can work it in. Yeah, so Jenna, you'll never look at those 2-point Dove chocolates. Hey, I have nothing against Dove chocolate. I understand they have their own place, but if you're a 2-point Dove chocolate can be an entire chicken breast. Seriously. From Applebee's, right? Applebee's grilled chicken, wood-fired grilled chicken is a 2-point chicken breast. What would you rather have? And I had it tonight for dinner. It was fantastic. Shout out to Applebee's, right? So Linda's out listening, or you will listening tomorrow on the morning walk. Got it? Yep. Jeffrey says his experiences at the Withings, which is now Nokia, counts about 50% lower than your Fitbit. Yeah, so I agree with you, Jeff. So I don't know. I should probably at one point wear a couple of them just to see, but I don't care because I focus entirely on the trend. So if this is counting 50% less, then after 30 days, I can then still increase 10% of my 50% less. So I think you and I are in complete agreement. I saw, we engaged earlier in some conversation on some other stuff. We're in complete agreement, and so I have to believe, though, the folks at Nokia, though, they're going to come in and I think they're going to completely revamp this entire system, and you're going to see some amazing stuff when those two brains link together. But yeah, I agree with you for sure, Jeff. Very cool. All right, well, that made it to the bottom, so we'll go ahead and sign off here. Thank you, as always, for being here. It's Wednesday night. The weekend is coming up soon. I will be, at this point, very likely, I will be up in Wheaton for the Connect meetup on this weekend. I will not make it to the Boston meetup. I have 2 events that scheduled that weekend that I just can't get out of town for. So as much as I would like to be there, which is what forced me to find a different location. So this weekend on Saturday, I'll be up in Wheaton. If you got questions about that, shoot an email to me to get the details, but it's all over Connect, #Wheaton. I think, or no, it's not called that, but you can search for Wheaton. It should show up somewhere, I think. Sorry about that for being vague. I don't really know. But Wheaton, Illinois is a meetup on July 15th. Anyway, so I will be there. But anyway, that's going to do it for this time. Thank you, as always, for being here. Let's see. Jana, good night. Linda, good night for sure. Sandra, thank you. Good evening. Denise, good night. Sandra, good night. I'm going to say good night to everyone. Looks like we're all saying good night at the same time. So, yeah. All right, so we'll see you this weekend if you're there. If not, have a great week. Continue to stay focused. That's the number one thing we can do. It doesn't matter what you do for fitness and activity. It matters what you eat. If you eat, if you're burning off 1,000 calories and eating 5,000 calories, the math just will never add up. And burning 1,000 calories is a lot of work. It's a lot easier to not eat 1,000 calories than it is to eat them and try and burn them off. So have a great night. I wish you good focus.